What's up, folks? I'm Walter Bernasiak, and this is Awesome Comics, your one-stop shop for everything comic book entertainment. And we're going a little manga-related, little anime-related. We are talking about the legacy of Dragon Ball Z with some very special guests. Before I get to them, I want to always implore you to like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/awesomecomicshow. And we have exclusive videos that go up there every single Thursday, sometimes more than once a week. I think you should go check that out for some stuff. So go ahead and give us a like on there. Okay, we'll go to my right first. She's a regular on the show. She's a good friend of mine. She's Heather Roos. What's up?
Hello. Nothing much. You know, I'm excited. I like when we're able to delve into the world of anime. I love anime, so I'm excited about this.
Your power level is, it's over 9,000.
Yes. Yes.
And our special guest today, you saw him on our favorite anime episode, it's Mr. Malcolm Ray.
Hey, yeah, this is Malcolm Ray. I love anime, and actually it's 8,000. But no, 9,000 is the English translation.
Right.
My geekiness is showing.
No, this is why we're here. Look where you're at. We're surrounded by all these things. This is a comfortable place to be that.
It's a geek safe space.
It's a geek safe place, exactly. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few things about Dragon Ball Z and sort of the impact that it had on us and on American culture especially, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into it. So Dragon Ball Z is probably like the most American accepted anime. I think a lot of people don't even watch anime, myself included. I'm not a big anime guy, and I love Dragon Ball Z. So why do you think that is? Why do you think Dragon Ball resonates with Americans specifically? Is it because of all the action and crazy stuff that happens in it? What do you think, Malcolm?
I think it is like a combination of just that action and the lore of the hero's journey. It's
Sure.
The hero's journey. It's like, in its basic form, it's the hero's journey. You have the young man that's seeking to become the greatest, most powerful fighter. And like it originally started with Dragon Ball,
right?
And Goku is just a little kid in the forest, and he runs into the unwilling hero Bulma, who happens to be a hyper genius, is searching for Dragon Balls, and they end up going on a journey together to collect.
Merry quest.
Yeah, merry quest. And it's just so much fun. I mean, there's comedy, there's action,
absolutely.
and just hijinks, and enemies that become friends.
Yeah.
And it's just a perfect combination of all that stuff. You got punching and you've got jokes being cracked.
I know.
It was Marvel's cinematic universe before.
With all the different characters crossing
It has a great balance between
definitely.
all the action, like you just said, action and comedy. And it really resonated not just with, I know you asked specifically about the American audiences, but it was a huge deal even in Japan.
Right.
It changed some of the face of the 80s and 90s anime. It was simple animation with a great story, and so it really changed how people approach some anime. The creator...
Akira Toriyama.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
I blinked on his name for a second. Thank you, Malcolm.
You're welcome. Toriyama, thank you.
Thanks for creating Dragon Ball. My goodness. So I think because it spans such a long period of time too. I mean, from Dragon Ball, like you said, we get to see Goku as a kid, and what became popular in America is Dragon Ball Z. So I mean, that's the main focus of everything. That's what the movies now are, Dragon Ball Z movies, very specifically. Yeah. So, but we get to see over years of time. We get to see his son grow up. We get to see Gohan grow up. We get to see characters age and die and come back. And
they always come back.
Yeah, of course, they always come back.
Death is not a permanent thing.
Right, it never is.
It's more of a suggestion.
You can come back. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's get into a couple of these topic things here I wrote out. So where did you see Dragon Ball Z first, or Dragon Ball, whatever? Where were you introduced to it first, Heather?
I actually was introduced to it on Cartoon Network.
That's where a lot of people were. I think most people. So
right, I used to watch Toonami, and I was fairly, like I said, into anime. So I was watching. My shirt is Sailor Moon. I was watching Sailor Moon and other. Like I actually was super reluctant to give it a try at first.
Really?
Because I was very set in my ways of I like magical girl shows and I like mechas, and this is neither of those things, so I will not like it. But then my friends kept telling me, you will like it, we promise. It's got a lot of drama, a lot of comedy, you'll like it, we promise. So then I went back and watched some other ones that my friends had videotaped off of Cartoon Network.
See, I did that all the time. I did too.
And I ended up liking it a lot.
Yeah.
I broke out of my shell of my two things that I liked.
Good. I think, most people saw it on Cartoon Network first. Where'd you see it first?
I saw it on Fox, Fox Kids. Like, it blew my mind because I was just getting introduced to anime because, like, shows that I watched before, it was like X-Men was out, Spider-Man,
Oh, yeah.
and then just like random other cartoon shows. But then, I would go into like comic book stores and I'd see like this, this funky looking like design characters, and it's like, oh yeah, that's anime. And I'm like, anime? It's like, yeah, cartoons from Japan.
Japanimation.
Japanimation, yeah. And so I started watching it, and it just like blew my lid completely off. I'm like, holy crap. It's like these guys are like flying across the screen. They're punching each other through mountains and all this other crazy shit. I'm like, this is insane. It changed my world. It made me, this was my introduction to anime.
For a lot of people, I think it was.
So it was like my go-to. And then like a year later after I discovered it, I saw it appear on Cartoon Network.
Right.
And that's when I became addicted. That's when I started videotaping it because,
Not
it would,
the only one.
because like it would start airing as I got out of school. So I would have to videotape it to make sure that I caught that episode before the week's new episode, which was on Toonami.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think I saw it. It was like Saturday mornings or something where I would see it at first, or something like that. But I think it was on Fox or something. But I definitely saw it before it was on Cartoon Network. It was the Ocean dub we're talking about.
Oh yeah, the Ocean dub.
It was it was much different. It was when Nappa said he was going to kill somebody. He was like, "I'm going to send you to the next dimension."
Get ready to go to another dimension.
Yeah, very strict. Censoring, I guess.
Censorship.
Those early episodes of the American dub.
Oh yeah. Ocean dub, they're Canadian. They are Canadian friends.
Okay, there you go.
So it kind of makes sense that they're a little more, like, ooh,
It was
Calm that down,
interesting. Yeah, right. It was interesting going back then and watching it unedited at other times in my life and being like, oh, this is super intense. There is blood involved.
Oh yeah.
It is it gets dark sometimes. DBZ can get pretty dark.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
People getting their limbs knocked off. It's pretty crazy.
Frieza's just a floating
just a
torso
floating
for a little while.
Oh God.
One arm, great stuff.
Right.
So I saw it on there first, but then I obviously watched it on Toonami and Cartoon Network, and that was another thing. Right home from school was watching Dragon Ball Z, and sometimes they'd play episodes back to back. I think a couple blocks were like that for a while.
Yeah.
So it was a problem with homework. Was not wanting to do homework because I needed to see Dragon Ball Z, and I would be so angry. When they would go through like a whole like half a saga or something, and then they would start from the beginning, like on the next episode. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It would be like a huge cliffhanger, and we wouldn't see the new episode for like months. It was a ridiculous way of presenting a television show.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually a couple of years. Like Ocean only dubbed up until the Ginyu arc.
Okay.
Funimation redubbed all that stuff.
Yeah, then Funimation took over, and then they had to go back and redub it from the Saiyan saga. So it was actually for years where it was like Funimation like dubbed everything from like the second half of the Ginyu arc onwards, and if you wanted to watch the Saiyan saga, you have to go back to the Ocean dub.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like that for years, but then soon Funimation got all the rights, and they were able to dub everything, and now we got Shan Shamo Goku.
Right. Yeah. I love the show. Still watch it. It's still great. Would watch. I mean, since the Boo saga was not going to come out on Cartoon Network for like months or something. So they released the video cassette tapes, the VHS, and me and my cousin bought a bunch of those. So that's how I watched the Boo saga, was through those tapes, because it took so freaking long to come on Cartoon Network. I was like, I cannot wait for this. Give me the tapes. So my cousin Nick has like this whole, on the back it forms an image. He has the whole Boo saga. So it's very cool.
VHSs.
Yeah, I know.
Remember those days.
Oh yes, classic stuff. So I want to talk about some of our favorite characters from this. Malcolm, who is your favorite character, or some of your favorite characters from Dragon Ball Z?
My favorite character right off the bat, like when I first saw Dragon Ball Z, it was like in the middle of the Namekian arc. That's where I was introduced to it. And it was a little confusing. Like I'm like watching this, and my favorite character, like right off the bat, was Gohan.
Yeah,
because like
he was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, when he was like dressed up in the little Namekian garb and he had his little bowl cut, and I'm like, he's just this little kid, but he's kicking so much ass.
Yeah, he was.
And like
he had that rage thing going on back then.
Yeah, he had like full on rage. Like he would get pissed off, and suddenly his power level would like skyrocket beyond anyone's expectations. And And you know, like that resonated with me because I was a little kid at the time. I had to have been like 6, 7.
Yeah, I was a
when
couple years older, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to like. It actually inspired me to get into martial arts. Like,
Really?
Okay.
yeah, I started like taking martial arts classes. Like, I want to be like Gohan. I want to be the kid that can just like kick anyone's ass.
Yeah.
You know, if someone is
Someone
like
pisses you off, you could just
power
knock 'em
up,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like. "Ah."
Exactly. Yeah, Gohan's a great character. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's like, you know, just a kid. You know, he just tries to study, tries to,
Right.
you know, do right by his parents.
Right.
But then he's got like the weight of the world on his shoulders when he has to like save his
Yeah.
friends.
And he goes over, I think, probably the biggest change over the whole series.
Yeah.
Because he starts off as in the Saiyan saga, he's like 4 or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
super young, and by the end of DBZ, he's a full-grown man. He's like 20 or something.
Yeah,
I think,
something like
At the end
that.
of the Buu saga. So, yeah, he goes through a full. I mean, we get to see him grow up. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
And we get to see him change, and sometimes for the better, sometimes not for the best. I thought Gohan should have sort of taken on the mantle of Goku, which they tried to
And
do.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they
People
wanted.
rejected so much.
Yeah, people rejected it. Fans were like, "No, we want our Goku
Yeah.
to be the hero."
I love Goku, but I mean Gohan. It was such a perfect setup, and then
That
they
was
just made him
it.
the bookworm, and
Yep.
you know,
They completely undid it.
yeah,
Because
which is terrible idea.
Goku.
I know.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite
Yeah.
character?
I was always into more of the villain / anti-hero, so like Vegeta is
Okay.
my favorite.
Oh, Vegeta's fantastic.
I love Vegeta. I
He's
just
a
always
great
felt
arc, too.
like, yeah, he always had interesting new things going on.
Yeah,
like
he did.
Majin
Goku,
Vegeta.
Goku was very like he does what's right, and I was bored by that. I liked
Right.
Yeah.
that Vegeta was a complex character villain, but also kind of a hero.
Yeah.
I also later on was a big fan of Trunks.
How could you not be? I mean,
so
we're talking
much.
about Future Trunks, right?
Right, Future Trunks. of
Yeah.
course, yes.
How could you
Of course.
not be the coolest like intro
Such a
ever? I
badass,
know.
just like
With the Tapion sword and everything. I mean, the
Right,
coolest character.
right.
How could you not be a Trunks? And especially, did you guys see History of Trunks? I'm assuming.
Yes.
yes.
History of
yeah.
Trunks is maybe the
mean-
best Dragon Ball movie. Maybe it's close.
Yeah,
if it
he
isn't.
has the best storyline. I feel
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, so you get to see his backstory in that movie is freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and he when he turned Super Saiyan the first time, he
Right.
claps so hard that his blood comes out of his hands.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Great stuff.
Back when being Super Saiyan was kind of a huge deal.
Kind of a big deal. So Trunks is a great character. Vegeta a great character. Both. I mean, and they both had Vegeta especially was up and down
Right,
throughout the
they,
series.
like a more anti-hero
Yeah.
feel to them.
Definitely,
whereas
definitely.
Trunks is just kind of a badass.
Yeah.
He does what he wants.
Exactly. Father like son, I guess. Yeah, my favorite character was always Piccolo. I
Hey, Piccolo's awesome.
Yeah.
love Piccolo. From the
Yeah.
very beginning, I love Piccolo. And he also goes through that bad guy at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. And I guess he was sort of an anti-hero at first, but he becomes like the straight-laced, like always reliable good guy, I think, throughout most of the series. And him training, his relationship with Gohan is like my second favorite character. Yeah,
it's so good.
It's amazing.
It
And I love how they parody that in Dragon Ball DBZ Abridged.
Yeah, Piccolo's a better
yeah.
father than Goku.
Love that so much. So yeah, their back and forth is always great. And then him with Kami, and he just had such an aura of like destiny around him. I think
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
entire time is like because he started off as such a bad guy. You know, the egg son of King Piccolo and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That seeing him grow and you could tell he was just meant for more. But yeah, he was just a really cool character. I always loved Piccolo, and I always just love him standing in the background. And
Yeah.
when he in the Android saga, when he fused with Kami. And was like was the most powerful character in the DB universe for like a little while. I was so ecstatic, so excited.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is exactly what I've been waiting for.
I know, it was so cool. I think that's what pissed me off the most about Dragon Ball GT.
Oh.
Is that they left him in hell?
Oh yeah, that was so weird. That was so weird.
Like one of the best heroes of the show, and you leave him in hell?
Yep.
To be
GT
fair,
was-
all of GT was weird and a hot mess.
Let's talk about GT really quick.
just really briefly.
real quick.
I don't like Dragon Ball GT. I wanted to like it. I was so excited about it, when watching DBZ and then seeing like, little pictures and stuff. There's Super Saiyan 4, there's
Yeah.
Baby Vegeta, there's all this crazy
Like,
stuff.
why is Goku a kid?
Right,
You know?
yeah. I was like, that seems kind of dumb. That would be cool. Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, and then it turned out to be, I think it's garbage. I'm sorry. From the theme song through everything. I hate it. I hate it. Not a fan.
It's really bad.
And that's all we'll talk about GT. The music in Z, Bruce Faulkner's American score, I want to talk about, is one of the best
God.
scores of a TV show I think ever. I love that score.
Yeah, the score is fantastic.
All the different themes.
Yeah, all the different themes. My favorite themes are honestly like between Vegeta and Trunks.
Right.
Yeah, because you have the piano.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, and then Trunks, he had the bells.
Oh, yes. Yes. The Ultra Super Saiyan episode was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powering up too much, but still.
Yeah.
That tended to happen. It's
Right.
fine.
Super Saiyan
happens.
3 Goku theme.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Holy crap.
Yeah, all just so many great themes. Yeah, all from Bruce Faulkner. And the Cell, how can I talk about the Cell theme?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Do. Oh,
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. I know there's a lot of defenders of the Japanese score, and it's very hokey. It's that's just how it is.
It's
It's
Yeah.
very 80s. I mean,
Right.
it's orchestral. It's
Right.
and it comes from a specific time.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little dated.
Yeah, it's a little dated, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's nostalgic to look back on it and appreciate the music because speaking of Dragon Ball Z's legacy, they've influenced shonen ever since
yes.
its inception.
Right.
That orchestral sound, you can hear it in One Piece. Like they use that sort of, they take notes from Dragon Ball Z, heavy.
Right.
And then you see name puns in Naruto. Akira Toriyama was a huge fan of the name puns.
Yes.
Right.
Saiyan literally meant vegetable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Vegeta, Kakarot, carrot obviously.
Right.
Raditz, radish.
Yeah.
Right.
All I said to match those those up, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Okay, well, we're going to wrap this up. Where can we find you guys on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Heather Roos or Instagram at HRoos.
Okay, Malcolm.
You can find me at Malcolm the Ray on Twitter.com.
.com. You can find me on Twitter.com as well. /awesome_Walter. Yeah, follow me on there, and we'll talk about some cool stuff. Talking about a little bit about DBZ.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
DBZ.
Yes. Okay. So until next week, these guys are great. Power up with us, guys. Yeah. We'll see you on the next page. Yeah.